So this is a 2025 Yamaha R9, the most anticipated motorcycle of the century. And today we got our hands on this black beauty. So in today's video, we're gonna walk through the features and specs and see what this 900 triple can churn out. We are gonna see how this R9 stacks up to everything else. Today's gonna be a good day. My name's Micah, welcome to the channel. Let's rip into it. And today's video is 100% sponsored by our buddy Ty, the owner of this beautiful bike. Go check him out on TikTok, follow his journey with this amazing machine, rides, parts, should be awesome. So now we're gonna do a 360 walk around of this bike and just take in the sheer beauty of it. Oh my goodness gracious, what? Like, what is in front of us right now? This thing is crazy. Now, what I'll say is I've gone through ups and downs with the Yamaha R9. At first, I loved the look of it, then I didn't like the looks of it, and then I saw it in person, and I loved it even more. And pictures can never do this bike justice. Just seeing one in person, seeing those wings, all the lines, the bodywork, the frame is beyond elegant. I mean, truthfully, I've never quite seen a motorcycle that looks like this. And it's because of the different bodywork, the styling that Yamaha has put on this motorcycle. I mean, it is just incredible what you have with this R9 package. Now, the Yamaha R9 is going to be powered by Yamaha's CP3 platform. So we have an 890cc inline 3-cylinder. So a couple of unique things there. I mean, an 890 size engine, an inline 3-cylinder. Now, we've certainly seen 900s over the years. We've certainly seen 3-cylinder motorcycles, but it's certainly not the norm. But maybe it should be, because you get good usable power from a platform like this. So this motorcycle cranks out 117 horsepower. It has 68 foot-pounds of torque, and a 3-cylinder is kind of the best of all worlds. You know, you can wind it up just like an inline 4-cylinder super sport, but you have a lot of grunt, you have a lot of power down low, and a very strong mid-range, similar to that of a V-twin. So this CP3 platform is really just a fantastic happy medium on paper, but will we still feel the same when we ride it? We're gonna find that out in just a few minutes. Now, as far as standout features and equipment on this bike, we're gonna have dual 320mm discs up front. We've got the Brembo Stylimas. You have these fantastic aerodynamic winglets that are molded into the bodywork. So it's not just a glue-on, stick-on, bolt-on thing like some bikes. Winglets on many motorcycles appear to look like an afterthought when they're just put on the body panels, but when they are molded in, it looks like this bike was made for those. And you can see these gold KYB forks, and up top we get all the adjustment here you could think of. You can really dial this cycle in for whatever kind of riding you want to do. Now, if you're familiar with the MT-09 platform, the underslung exhaust is not going to surprise you. You will find that on this R9 as well. And we're going to get these slick 5-spoke rims. So if you are missing the Yamaha R6, well, don't worry, those are a little souvenir from the past for you. You know, and we've got a few aftermarket parts on our bikes, you know, some levers, mirror block-offs, we've got tank pads, we have engine protection, we have rear sets, we have a little tail tidy. And when we come to the cockpit, suddenly you've got a middleweight bike that is loaded with electronic features. So over on the left-hand grip, you're gonna have your cruise control, your adjustment for that. You've got a nice control pad here, home button, signals, horns, high beams. And that is only scratching the surface, because once you turn the key on, suddenly you can see what all of these buttons will do. So pressing the home button on the left grip here is going to bring us to a menu. We can scroll through applications, settings, vehicle info, themes. Now, themes are kind of cool because we could go in here and completely change the look of our display. So that's one of them there. There's another. I mean, there's like 5 different themes. What do you want here, people? Now, on top of that, we can go to the right handle. We can hit our mode button here, and it's going to change. If you can see up in the right corner there, it's going to change. We're on custom 1 map. Now we're on rain mode, street mode, sport mode. Now, if we hold the mode button down, then it will give us further adjustment. You see this menu on the bottom, so we have our power setting, traction control settings, slide control, lift control, engine braking management. And within those, I can adjust to whatever settings I want everything to be at. Well, I'll give you a little look at those running lights there. Holy moly. That baby looks so slick, and then you see them reflect off the winglets. Unbelievable. And then just below the seat, you're gonna get the KYB piggyback instant adjustment. So this is just a dial, and I can seamlessly turn it. Now you're gonna hear a couple audible clicks at some point, so and you can kind of use those for reference, but I love that this is not just a set position, that you can kind of instantly dial it into whatever you want. Well, and we can only blab about something like this for so long, so now I think we need to gear up. We are gonna jump on this pony. We're gonna take it out to Mexico here, and we're gonna see what the 2025 Yamaha R9 has in store for us.
All right. What in the world is going on? We are gonna ride that. We are gonna ride this blacked out beauty, the Black Beauty. Holy cow, I just can't stop looking at it. But I do want to ride it here. So, moment of truth. Okay, could it run any smoother? Could it sound any more refined? I don't think so. I don't think it could. Well, and just so we're not surprised, we'll rev the throttle just a little bit. Wow. Wow. An inline 3-cylinder. It's so weird. It's as smooth as an inline 4-cylinder, but it has just a deeper sound to it. Now, instantly getting on the motorcycle, what I notice, the seat is fairly high. So the seat height on this bike is 32.7 inches. And I am 6 foot tall. I can flat foot on both sides, but that is just an observation I've made right off the bat. Oh, this is cool. Wow. Oh yeah, right off the bat, you can feel every inch of that 68 foot-pounds of torque. Wow. It's kind of spicy. Now, what I'll also say right off the bat is that the Yamaha R9 is supposed to have, everybody says, one of the best quick shifters of all time. It's bi-directional. You can quick shift it up, down. You do not need to let off the throttle, touch the clutch. So, of course, we are going to experiment with that today. Whoa. It does feel seamless. Well, so in slower speeds here, around 35, 40, the handling of the bike is superb. It does handle just like it's on razor blades. Now, this motorcycle weighs 430 pounds wet from the factory. Nice and light for a middleweight supersport. And then this frame Yamaha came up with, it's brand new from the ground up, and it's supposed to be the lightest, I believe they say. Well, and right off the bat, I'll say it certainly don't feel heavy. All right, people, give this pony some room to run. She wants to go, baby. And here we go. Oh, man. So, the quick shifter, fantastic. And then the sound of that triple, it's just deep, it's full, it's throaty. Sometimes the inline fours, you wind them up, you know, and it's just kind of a high pitch. And this is just like, I don't even want to try and imitate it or try and resemble the sound. Hopefully it's coming through in my microphone all right. But this thing, I don't know. I'm excited to get it out to the country is what I'll say. Try the downshift. Oh dear. Okay, all right, yes. It's certainly a super sport. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, she gets up and goes, no problem. So essentially, what we have here is a 600cc super sport power with torque getting close to that of, you know, what a leader bike might have. So if your leader bikes have 80 to 85 foot-pounds of torques, and if the 600s have about 50, you know, with this sitting at 68, she's a torquey little devil. Now your gearing on this R9 is not going to be as long, it's not going to be as stretched out as some leader bikes. First gear here is going to achieve that 60 miles per hour, but not much more than that. So, and all of that is really good. It's good in a couple ways. One, around town, your gearing is so practical. You can cruise this around town, down the highway, anywhere. It's going to be comfortable, it's going to be easy, but then that shorter gearing is just going to give you so much felt torque in every gear, and that first gear can hit 60. It should make your 0 to 60s blistering fast, and we'll do a 0 to 60 pull, maybe a 0 to 100 today. Well, and let's warm up them tires. My goodness, this thing, I just want to be knee down in some very long sweeping corners. Wow. Well, so what? We'll shift down here. Third gear. Yeah. Let's be at third gear. We'll be going 60 miles per hour. And let's just give her the beans and we'll see what happens. Oh, baby. Yeah. Yeah, she pulls just fine. That initial bite, that initial hit when you rip the throttle, you instantly know that you have more torque than a 600. Now, as far as after that initial hit, after the initial bite of all your torque, what kind of pull does it have beyond that? Well, it feels about the same as, you know, your classic 600cc super sport, which is fast, right? I mean, they're, you know, some people say just as fast as leader bikes, up to 60, up to 100, and after that is when they taper off. But yeah, it feels every bit as fast as a 600, that's for sure, with a greater initial hit. And the power too, it just starts at lower RPMs. You know, your 600s, they're kind of gutless until about 8,000 RPMs at least. And this, I mean, right at 4,000. Good pull. 5 is even more. 6, it gets really silly. At 6, seemingly, that's when I really start to feel it kind of wanting to pull away. So that is fun. All right, let's do the old 0 to 60 here. My first launch on an R9. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, the torque. Well, we went to 100. I was gonna do 0 to 60, and then it was going so fast, we went to 100. So I'll put up those 0 to 60, 0 to 100 times. And of course we'll do that once more here. I mean, we have to. Maybe, see, I'm just getting used to this clutch for the first time. So we'll see if I can get a little bit better time here on another launch. All right, we gotta go quick because we got a car behind us. On your marks, get set, go. And I have these vents in the tank cover here, if you guys can see those. Yamaha has put those on this bike to allow more engine sound to make it to the rider. So you'll hear your motorcycle excellent, but you won't be disturbing the neighbors or anything like that, so that's kind of cool. It lets everybody maintain their peace and quiet, but it lets you have a good time and really hear and experience your motorcycle. Starting out, here we go. Give her the beans. you're somebody like myself who doesn't normally ride triples, inline 3 cylinders, wow, that sound is just really gonna make you feel a special way. It's very unique, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, everybody got away from them because they were air cooling them, and the center cylinder would overheat. Oh man, second gear just pulls like a mule at about 8,000 RPMs. Let's experience that one more time. Second gear, starting at about 35 miles per hour, 4,000 RPMs, and we'll just punch her and we'll see what RPMs that it really takes us at. Oh wow, it's 6 to 8. You almost get 2 good jolts. It's probably hard to tell from the camera, but yeah, man, we got, yeah, Yamaha turns on the juice there. And I think that's just a factory fueling issue. You know, on a lot of these newer Euro 5 compliant bikes, you're not getting full throttle to the motorcycle, even if you twist the throttle all the way. You know, you might only be getting 40, 60, 80% fuel, but once you get these motorcycles flashed, then those tuners, those flashes, they will give you the proper fueling and give you full throttle when you give the bike full throttle. Well, and so cruise control, let's try our cruise control here, since we have a bike that has that. So I just hit the mode button up on my left handle grip. You see the cruise pop up, and I can press down, set it at 57, 56. Well, it says 57, so no hands. We are cruising. The cruise control is set. It's perfect. So that's really cool. You know, it's interesting that not many other middleweight super sports have the suite of electronics that this has. I mean, as far as the things that the R9 has, you have the cruise control, you have power modes, you have the ABS, you have traction control, the slide control, the wheelie mitigation, the launch control. My seat is actually massaging. It has 3 settings. Okay, the seat is not massaging, but everything else Yamaha has thought of, and it's just, it's cool. Now, why do you not see this many electronics on other bikes? Is it because they just haven't updated them yet? Is Yamaha the first one to the punch? Well, oh, that roundabout felt good. This is a bike built for the twisties, let me just say that. But no, why do we not see the suite of electronics that this has on other bikes? Because a lot of your other middleweight super sports are inline 600s. Think, you know, we had the R6, the ZX6R, the CBR 600RR, and with the inline 600 4-cylinder, you only have around 50 foot-pounds of torque, maybe less. And so with the bike, even though it might have 120 or more than that for horsepower, with you not having the torque, it's not really as important to have that wheelie mitigation, to have that traction control, to have that slide control. An inline 4 600 is just not going to give you the sheer torque that you really need those rider aids or whatever have a use for them. Now, expert level riders, you know, if you keep a 600 in high RPM, of course, you can experience some good power, plenty of power. But with this R9, having that triple platform, you know, you do get good torque from it, 68 foot-pounds. That's kind of crazy. And you feel it everywhere. Oh man, it is just, wow. This bike just makes you want to grab a wristful of throttle. More than a wristful. It makes you want to grab all the throttle. But, so yeah, today as I'm riding this bike around, I went into the custom maps and I just put everything off or at the lowest setting. As far as ABS, traction control, slide control, wheelie mitigation, all that stuff. Oh man, just to use that quick shifter in about mid RPM, you're not getting on it or anything, but man, it feels good. And with the quick shifter on, you know, I can still shift and use my clutch, and I don't notice it. You know, on our ZX-6R, I like to turn the quick shifter off because otherwise when I shifted using the clutch, the timing, my timing and the bike's shifting timing just never quite lined up. Everything lines up perfectly on this. So use the quick shifter, don't use it, it doesn't really matter. But it is very nice, and it's, yeah, probably, well, yeah, the nicest quick shifter I've ever ridden. But this is the newest model of motorcycle I've ridden now. Well, it's a 2025 R9, and everybody just started getting theirs, you know, a few weeks ago, a month ago. It has not been long. Oh, and that quick shifter bi-directional, you don't even touch the gas, you just press down on it. It rev matches for you. Oh, man. So Yamaha has done a great job there. Let's really throw this baby into some corners. All right, knee down. I don't have any super sports at the moment, so this feels good. Oh, man. You know, for being a triple, so this has all the torque I thought it would, but it's not quite as down low as I thought it would be. So it certainly hits sooner. It has a better mid-range than your inline four-cylinder 600s. But yeah, it still, you know, kind of has that playful, like to be wound up feel to it. You know, sometimes you get to the V-twins and the triples, and, you know, they just like the low RPM and mid RPM. You know, once you get to the high, your power starts to taper off, and so you want to shift. You almost want to short shift it. Not on this thing. It has the power, it has the sound. Oh man, and it just pulls through on that power band. Wow. This is a very satisfying motorcycle to drive. Very, very satisfying. And we're off. It's that lower tone of the triple. I'm like addicted to it right now, you can probably tell. I just like to I just really like to hear that low grunt and start revving it about 4 and then hear that come up in the RPMs. Oh man. And then it really starts to sweep you away around 6,000 RPMs. Very, very cool. Very cool. And gosh, so the bike, the electronics on this, there's so many different positions and settings. I mean, for like the traction control, it's like 8 or 9 different settings. You have plenty for, you have so many settings. I think this is just an example of a motorcycle where the manufacturer has just gone above and beyond in every way they could. Home sweet home. Let me just rev this up one more time for you here as we look at the gauges. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
Alright, so I would not be mad if we had to ride this thing all afternoon. That is a bullet I'm willing to bite. Golly, this thing is just so cool. And I have a lot of notes, a lot of observations from our ride, and a lot of things actually surprised me. So first off, the power and the feeling of the R9. So going into this, never having ridden one, I thought this bike was gonna be kind of a bruiser, kind of a little bit rowdy and a little bit tough to handle even in low RPM. And it's just not. The thing is so smooth, it's so refined, it delivers that power so smoothly. It is so linear. The bike has a predictable nature while still feeling every ounce of that 117 horsepower and 68 foot-pounds of torque. So it's really a beautiful thing how Yamaha is able to do that. And again, no tune, no flash on this bike. It is running just like it walked out of the factory. Another observation, ergonomics, because we all heard so much about the ergonomics of this bike, and you'd see the rider triangles, some pictures online, everybody was saying, oh, it's more comfortable than an R7, and it feels just as sporty as every other super sport I've ever ridden. I would not say it's more comfortable. I would not say it's any more aggressive. But yeah, don't have the idea going into this bike that it's gonna be some comfortable upright machine. No, it feels like every other crotch rocket of all time. But there is nothing that I would immediately change about it. The position, the feel of the seat, rear sets, handlebars. Yamaha's done a good job. You feel comfortable planted while in control of the motorcycle completely. Now, as far as how the R9 stacks up to its main competition, basically the ZX-6R and the CBR 600RR. Well, so here's what I'll say. In an all-out drag race, they're all gonna be the same. I don't think anybody's gonna gain an inch on anyone. But what I'll say is that the R9, with having the torque that it does, a less experienced rider is going to be able to go faster and do more on an R9 versus a ZX6 versus a CBR 600. And yeah, it's just that torque. It is more torque, more power kind of throughout that full rev range. So whereas on, you know, the 600 inline fours, you really have to kind of watch your RPMs and stay in the power band, you know, if you want to have some bite. But the R9, you know, it seems like most of the power band, anything past 4, and it really starts to hit hard at 6. Yeah, just power, it feels good, it's linear, it pulls just like you want it to, and that motor just sings to your ears the whole time. So as far as the value, as far as the price of this motorcycle, so with it being priced at $12,499, very competitive, right, to your other middleweight super sports. I think the things that set the R9 apart, the suspension is very good. The looks are second to none. The electronics, the suite of features that you get, all of that cruise control, you know, the power, the bi-directional quick shifter that functions oh so good. This is just crazy. That's stuff that the world hasn't seen on a middleweight super sport yet. And they have now, and it doesn't cost any more than the competition. You know, it sparks your curiosity. This motorcycle really makes you want to just explore it and see what it has for you. It's very, very good. 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10. We have to. I can't plink this motorcycle in any way. And of all the R9s in the nation, this R9 was number 751. So comment with any questions you guys may have. Otherwise, like the video if this helped you out. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time.